Hello Year 9s, welcome to Mr. Chan's classroom. Welcome to the new topic called coordinate geometry. It's been a while that since I made these math videos because I want you guys to actually catch up on the trigonometry that we have been learning. So new topic is coordinate geometry. It is the kind of like the follow-up of the trigonometry and Pythagoras theorem. I don't think you guys can get away from those two because Pythagoras and trigonometry kind of present in pretty much a lot of things that we learn in math. So let's get into it. So coordinates geometry talk about coordinates pretty much, and it allowed you to actually find distance. So that is the fundamental. It's kind of like the basic of your GPS. Okay, GPS. So what GPS allowed you to do is to locate distance, same as this. So back when we don't have this technology, you have to actually use something below like that, which allowed you to locate distance between 2 points. So let's without wasting time, let's get into it. So what we are learning today is, by the end of this video, you should be able to locate target's coordinates on the Cartesian plane. I will talk about what Cartesian means. So obviously the keywords number one is Cartesian plane, followed by your coordinates, and lastly your x and y axes. I'm not sure if you actually learned this in year 8, but I will go through it regardless, just as a revision. So let's begin. What is Cartesian planes? Cartesian plane is this. So this whole thing is a Cartesian plane. It has a lot of grids, okay, which allows you to draw on them so that you can produce work that is more consistent. The next one is your x and is your coordinates. So coordinates is pretty much a dot that are present on your Cartesian plane. Okay, it can be anywhere here. All right. So one of these dots are called coordinates, and all of them they're called coordinates with S. So what allows the coordinates to form are these two lines, x and y. Okay, so these two perpendicular lines, so the one on the laying down is called the horizontal line, is your x-axis, and the vertical line going straight up on this is your x-axis. Okay, you got two of these. Okay, so remember the vertical one is y and the horizontal one is x. It will never change. You don't use other number to represent them. You just remember it's x on the vertical, x on the horizontal, and y on the vertical. So what happened is these two lines form 4 boxes. So as you can see, the way the boxes actually works is you have box number 1, box number 2, box number 3, and box number 4. They actually have a unique name to it. It's called quadrants. Okay, quadrants. So that's the first quadrant, that's the second quadrant, third quadrant, and fourth quadrant. Okay, so these quadrants are important for you to actually locate your coordinates later down the track. So I'm gonna just erase that quickly. So now that you know there are 4 quadrants, I'm gonna teach you how to put numbers in it. So these quadrants, you have to remember this line x and y axis. So anything going to the right are all positive numbers. Anything going to the left is negative numbers. Okay, so for y-axis case is anything going up is positive, anything going down is negative. Okay, have you got that? I'm gonna put some number in. So since anything going right hand side is your positive, so that means you start here. Oh, by the way, I forgot the most important bits, which is the origin. This is the origin. It's called O. Okay, so O is your origin. It has the coordinates of 0 and 0. So that means anything to the right of x-axis is positive, isn't it? So since that's 0, that will be 1. That will be 2, 3, 4, 5, and etc. So if you're going left on the other hand, it will be -1, -2, -3, -4. Bear in mind, this grid, each of them, I make it to be one grid equal to 1. Okay, there are a lot of situations down the track that you will see one grid can represent 10, or can represent 5, or can represent 2. Okay, it can varies, but for as an introduction, I make it as 1 to make it easier. So let's go on the y-axis for a second. So anything going up, since it is positive, it is 1, 2, and 3, and 4, etc. So when you go down, it will be -1, -2, -3, -4, and etc. Okay, so that is how you do coordinates on x and y. So what that means is, if you have a look here, how is that going to affect each quadrant? So the first quadrant here, first Q, you will see you will have the coordinates of this. So all the dots, which is your coordinate in here, have positive numbers, okay, on both x and y axis. So what that means is your x-axis will be positive and your y-axis will be, y coordinates will be positive as well. Okay, so let's pick one example right here. So if you have a dot right here, I'm gonna actually use a really different one, purple. So purple here, what do you think is the coordinates? Since both of them are positive from positive, you always look at the x-axis first. So x-axis is going to the right or left. So in this case, the coordinates on the right hand side of the origin, which go to 2. Okay, so go to 2 and then go up by 1. So the coordinates of this purple dot is actually 2 and 1. Okay, 2 and 1 is the coordinates. And what happened is, if you go to the second quadrant, you will get negative numbers on the x but positive numbers on the y coordinates. okay, because the reason why to it is anything go to the left is negative. So since the x is definitely negative, the moment you go to the left from the origin, it always going to be a negative. Okay, but the y numbers are above the origin, which will always be positive. And the third quadrant, we have negative and negative. Okay, because all the numbers in these third quadrants are always going to be negative, because the way the x and y operate here. So let's pick one example on here, which is this dot. How do you tell the coordinates of this dot? Again, always start with x-axis. So you go 1, 2, 3. Okay, so you know straight away that is a 3, the x-axis. So what's the y-axis? You have to go down from the origin, which is 1, 2, and 3. Negative 1, negative 2, and negative 3. So your coordinates for this, the dot right here, is going to end up as negative 3, 3 and negative 3. Okay. And the fourth quadrant here is going to be a positive for the x coordinates and negative for the y coordinates. Okay, you don't actually need to memorize this. This will come naturally as you progress. Okay, you will realize this. But for your understanding, this is how it works. Okay, so always remember, first quadrants always start on the right top corner, okay, which is this box, and then second, third, and fourth. All right. So what more to before I conclude these videos, I'm gonna quickly ask you a few coordinates and see if you can figure them out yourself. So as we know, this is the origin, which is 0 and 0. A more general one to it is it has a 0 right there. I want you to find the following coordinates. Let's say if I draw this one, again I will use each grid, I will use 1 per grid, 1 number per grid. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And negative 1. Oh, sorry, negative. There you go. Don't make mistake like Mr. Chen. Make sure you get it correct yourself. So I would like you to find coordinates to draw the coordinates for this negative 3, 4. And the second one is negative 5, negative 5. Third one is 2 and 6. And the last one is 1 and negative 4. Alright, so you can pause the videos and try and work it out, and resume the video after you think you got the answer. Okay, it's okay, you might probably find it a bit difficult to work at the beginning, but it will come. I will explain further as well, and we'll do more practice on it. So let's get on to this answer. So negative 3 and 4. So that means straight away it tells me your x coordinates is negative 3 and your y coordinates is 4. So I have to go x negative 3, I have to go to the, straight away it tells me I have to go to the left from the origin, three grids away from the origin to the left, and also going up 4 grids because it is positive. So my answer is this right here. That is my negative 3 and 4. Okay, so let's work on the second one. So the second one is negative 5 and 5, so that means I have to go further left from the origin now because it is negative 5, and then I have to go down from the origin because I'm looking for negative 5 on the y-axis. So it will end up here. This is your negative 5 and 5, negative 5, sorry. And that is your negative 5, and the third one is the x is 2 and y is 6, so 2 and go, that means it's going right from the origin and going up by 6, which is right here, 2 and 6. That is your third one. And the last one is 1 and negative 4, so 1 is going to the right, and then negative 4 is going down 4 grid from the origin, so it will be right here, 1 and negative 4. So there you go. That is how you locate your target coordinates on the Cartesian planes. So to sum up these videos, we went through what is Cartesian planes, we went through what is on R coordinates. Okay, remember coordinates always involve two numbers, x and y. And also we talk about what is x-axis and y-axis. And lastly, we also went through the first quadrant, second quadrant, third quadrant, and fourth quadrant, and what is the number, whether it is positive or negative on each of the quadrants. So please write down exactly if you have a question for me or any confusion, and I will explain them during our lessons. Good job for listening. These videos has gone for a little bit longer than usual, but it needed to be that way. Thank you guys. Peace. Bye.